Okay, I think I am mentally with it enough to do an actual full-on review. I have not prepared any sort of like commentary about this. I'm just going off my first impressions after I saw it, and it's been a few weeks since I saw this movie actually. It's Night Hunter. It's got Henry Cavill in it, Ben Kingsley, Alexandria Daddario, Stanley Tucci, and Nathan Fillion, Minka Kelly, the guy who played the disturbed person that they were investigating. I don't know his name, but I have seen him in different things. So anyway, I saw this movie on the way over to California on the plane. I had brought it on my computer. I found it and I was able to watch it. And it was just something to, I wanted to pass the time because I don't like flying at all. So I was in the mood for something with Henry Cavill in it, and I watched this. So, okay, I remember I did a reaction and review for the trailer for this, and I was really impressed with it. I liked the way it looked. I liked the mystery stuff and the detectives and Henry Cavill. And so I was automatically intrigued by it and interested to see it. It didn't come to a theater near me that I know of. I think it was supposed to come out like in September or something, but if it came to a theater, it was very limited release. Anyway, so I have to say, after checking out some reviews for it, like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, not that I always put full faith in Rotten Tomatoes, especially when it comes to big name films that there's a lot of controversy about, I have almost zero faith in Rotten Tomatoes because of the stuff that went on with Captain Marvel and Star Wars. I just don't necessarily inherently trust them, right off the bat. Well, that's inherently, it's kind of redundant. Anyway, but for some smaller type of films or, just that don't have this sort of, big blow up explosion of controversy, I have a little bit more confidence in the rating system. But something that I noticed, the reviews for this, when I say reviews, I'm all not just referring to like official critics. The official critics absolutely destroyed this movie, but there were only it was just a handful of reviewers. So it was just not quite a good proportion. So the regular audience score for this matches up pretty much with the IMDb score for this. I did not check Metacritic, but anyway. And I have to say that personally, I do tend to agree with the general audience perception and score of this, which is kind of like, 50-ish to 60% maybe, anywhere between like a 5.0 and a 6.0, or just, what I was seeing was like in the mid 50s, 55, 54, 55, 58, something like that, approximately. And I agree with that. And the film is not necessarily a really bad film, but I felt like I couldn't really fully connect with the characters. Like it felt very sterile, sanitized, for some reason I just didn't feel that level of emotional connection that I like to feel with certain movies. And I can't tell you why. The actors in here were fine. They did a good job, but I don't know if it was just the writing, if it was the editing, or what it was. The editing did feel a little bit choppy. I started to notice that. But anyway, let me get back to what the basic premise is. This dude here that's pinned up against the wall, I can't remember his character's name. He's suspected of being someone who has kidnapped a bunch of girls. The movie maybe it starts off with a girl is escaping, and she jumps off a bridge to escape, and of course she gets killed. And Henry Cavill is a detective, and so is Daddario, and so they work together on this case to try to solve what's up. Now, Ben Kingsley plays a side character, and it works with the girl. This might be her. Her hair looks a little different here, though. It was the girl that it was showing earlier. She had like a cap on, and she's sitting at a table drinking a drink or something. Maybe, well, when it comes around, I'll point her out. Anyway, so Ben Kingsley works with, I think he used to be a cop or something like that. He and Stanley Tucci know each other. And anyway, Kingsley's not a cop anymore. He's kind of like, he's like a vigilante. The film, this girl here, he's teamed up with her. And basically what they do is, they do sort of like a Chris Hansen type thing. They lure these predators in, predators who are specifically trying to hook up with underage girls, because she poses as like a teenager. And they lure them in, and then they drug them, knock them, oops, sorry. Anyway, they lure them in, they drug them, knock them out, or they knock them out, whatever, they incapacitate them. And basically what they do is they castrate the guy. So they're taking some justice into their own hands. Anyway, they end up sort of working in conjunction with the police to try to get to the bottom of what's going on, because Kingsley's sidekick, the girl, she gets taken by this guy, her. So anyway, it's a lot of investigative stuff going on. There's also a side story with Henry Cavill, his relationship with his daughter. Cavill plays a very cold, just almost like militaristic type police officer, even like a father figure. He's very kind of like cold and standoffish, and so the relationship he has with his daughter is a bit strained, but he does love her. You know that he loves her. There are things that happen that really demonstrate that he, truly loves his daughter, and he just has trouble emotionally connecting with her. But you do see through the course of the film that they become closer because of, everything that's going on in this investigation. And, he's feeling, so like he's working on this case where these young girls are being stolen and held prisoner for who knows how long. And his daughter is approximately the same age. So, he's kind of, it's really hard for him. So anyway, the story comes, and there's like a twist at the end, which it sort of surprised me a little, but I don't know why it should have. I mean, I should have seen it coming, but for some reason it just didn't click in my head that this was a possibility. You'll know it when it happens, and maybe some of you guys will be like, oh yeah, I totally guessed it. I didn't really, and I don't know if maybe it was because I was on a plane at the time, and I'm really tense when I don't like flying. I said it already. I'll say it again. I'm scared to death when I fly. I mean, I'm the type of person that I'm so scared. Sometimes like turbulence, any little sort of thing. I typically wear sunglasses on an airplane so people don't see how freaked out I look in my eyes and think I'm going to go crazy on the plane, which I'm not. I'm just like, anyway. So I was watching this on the plane, so I was a little bit, part of my brain was a little distracted. And maybe that's why I just didn't put the pieces together like I should. But anyway, in my opinion, the movie is good enough for at least one watch. If you like films like this, which I do, and I don't regret that I watched it. I just felt like there was just a bit of something missing. Like I just did not feel this close connection, like I already said. And it's through no fault of the actors, because they did fine. Maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe it was just the writing. I didn't feel like we got enough time with Daddario's character. I mean, we got this stuff with Cavill's character, and he is the main actor, but we get like his sort of, personal life with his daughter and his ex-wife. We only know about Daddario's situation because she just kind of mentions it through the course of the film. We never really see her in her off-work type environment. So, we're a little removed from her. But there was, like I said, I feel like some like choppy editing stuff, and things sometimes happened, felt like a little bit out of pace with the overall story. Maybe that's just because there were cuts that had been made, and perhaps that's why some things felt a little bit just too too jarring or too choppy with regard to the editing. I was noticing that a little ways through. It wasn't enough to completely destroy the movie for me, but I feel like maybe if it had been extended out a bit and we had felt a bit more connection with the characters, perhaps. Thought I heard something. Anyway, okay. Perhaps that would have given this film a feeling of more depth, more oomph, more impact. So, those are the things that I kind of just picked up on as I was watching it. I was, I liked it enough that I wanted to make a review for it, but it's not necessarily something that I would return to again because it's not on up there. It's just kind of like, middle of the range type thing. So if I did rewatch it, it was my phone. That's what was happening. If I did rewatch it, it would be just because I want to see Henry Cavill in something. I mean, he honestly was the main draw for me. So, but the story itself also was the draw. I did like what I saw in the trailer. So, yeah, give it a go if you think you'd be interested in, like a crime type, investigative sort of, thriller type movie. You might like it more than I did. You might absolutely hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm just kind of sort of neutral about it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this particular movie, Night Hunter, with Henry Cavill. And I would like to try to get some other reviews in, but I don't know if I'm mentally up to doing another review tonight. So I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, the review for this one is done, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Oh, if you guys have had a chance to see this yet, let me know what you think. And, like if you feel similarly to how I did, or if you felt differently, whatever, just let me know. This almost feels like it would be something that would be a great book. And maybe it was based on a book. I don't remember. Anyway, whatever. This would be a book I think would probably be pretty fun to listen to if it really was a book. That bears some investigating, because I have found out that there are some movies and shows that have been based on books and they don't necessarily advertise that. I find it out later. Anyway, that was tangent. Okay, signing off. Adios.